Good morning. Of course, if it's afternoon or evening where you are, good afternoon, good evening. It's 3:33 a.m. for me. And yes, I know it's only been, 14 hours or so since I did the last video. And this will be the first video for 2014, although I'm recording it at 3:33 a.m. on the last day of 2013, not 2014. The title that I've selected is Will This Year Finally Be New? Or the same old recycled shit. As I said when I shared yesterday's video on Facebook around 2 a.m. this morning, I went and listened to Bringers of the Dawn and Earth Book, both by Barbara Marciniak, following the recording for the last video for 2013. The first of these was an early part of my own awakening to why I am here at this time. Because of the way I've been feeling as the old year ends, I needed to remind myself of my mission, the mission many of us chose as renegade iconoclasts, incarnating on a prison planet. It ain't an easy task establishing justice and peace on a globe controlled by liars and insane beings. As Barbara said, we humans have been listening to the same sick station for 300,000 years, recycling the same old shit of limitation and slavery. Will 2014 finally be the year we, as a collective, pierce the surface layer of poverty and discover the riches within us? I actually fell asleep listening to the second one of her audiobooks. I've listened to Bringers of the Dawn before. I don't think I ever listened to Earth Book. And one of the things that struck me is the importance of being paired with someone as a helper, that we can't hold the energy alone, and the importance of paying attention to our emotions, because the emotional body and our emotions is the doorway to our spiritual evolution and our awakening. I agree with that very much. And I don't apologize for feeling frustration and anger and disappointment, or any of the so-called negative emotions that I freely express from time to time on my videos. I'm not going to apologize because I think it's important. One of the reasons it's important is because I promised that I would tell the truth, that I would be authentic. And when I'm going through that kind of stuff, I'm going to share it. I'm not going to hide it from you and put on a mask, because that's been the way of our world. That's been the phoniness of our religion, the phoniness of our politics, the phoniness of our lifestyle. We've put on a happy face when we're not happy. We've tried to put our best foot forward when we're feeling down in the dumps. Instead of being authentic and genuine and honest with ourselves, and of course honest with others, we've put on a charade. We've been hypocrites, wearers of the mask. That's been our culture. That's been the way of the world. It's a prison planet. It's why it's a prison planet. It's run by psychopaths and liars, by insanity, that we think that we can improve by painting the shell, and that changes anything. No, the change has to come from within. That is absolutely correct, and the channeled messages are right. It is an inside job. It's always required an inside job. But many of us, like myself, have been Lone Rangers. I don't have a partner. That's been withheld from me. And I have to go through all of the things that so many people go through, of forgetting the resources, forgetting what's inside, and working through the amnesia of that forgetfulness to try to remember who I am and remember what my task is. Remember that there is treasure within me, even though sometimes it's not very apparent to me, and sometimes I don't feel it, and sometimes I simply don't remember who I am. Sometimes it's been easy to forget, and no one here to remind me, no one here on my level to walk with me, to hold my hand, not getting the support from the invisible realm even that I so desperately require and petition the universe to provide, but it withholds it. What happened here? All of a sudden my computer screen, oh there it goes, my computer screen just went purple. And not black, purple. I love the color. Anyway, I've really, yesterday and recent days actually, have been very deep introspection, and I've allowed, hear me, I've allowed myself to spend time in the negative emotions and to look at my feelings and to feel them to the best of my ability, to be with myself and not condemn myself for what I'm feeling, even when I was feeling like a failure, when I was riding home from hearing the buskers on actually early Sunday morning, but it was like after Saturday night's gig. I was driving home that hour and looking back over the evening when I was referring to one of my friends, and I was not saying her name right, and then another name I had gotten early on in the evening and then forgot and called her something else at the end of the evening, and I was embarrassed by my inability to even retain a person's name within a few hours period of time. And I've also was reflecting on some of the aches and pains that I've been experiencing in my body lately. And in the past, I've looked at aches and pains as adjustments that are necessary because I'm going through a transformation. And it's not just a spiritual transformation, it is a physical transformation. And I was reminded of that in listening to Barbara Marciniak's books, the audio books online. I was reminded that we are going through transformation. But lately I've been looking at the aches and pains as, oh my God, I'm getting old, I'm going to die. And there's been times over the past week or more where I've wanted to die. I mean, I've been ready to throw up my hands and give up because it doesn't seem like anything matters. Like none of the effort makes any difference at all. The same old liars, the same old insane people still seem to be running the show. And it's frustrating for me. And it's frustrating for many of you. And I'm wanting very much to present truth. And truth is not a fixed thing. It's a subjective thing. It's whatever we're going through right now. That's truth. That's our truth. It's not the same truth for everybody. Not everyone is going through the same thing at the same time, but there are generalities because collectively we are going through a transition. We are going through not just a transition, but a transformation. We're transmuting the old into the new. And this is the process that we've been involved in, not just in 2011, 2012, and 2013, but we've been involved in it, many of us, all of our lives, even if we're like myself, pushing 70. I've got 3 more years, but in any case, you know, that even those of us that are up in years, but those of you that are younger, in the generations of my children and my grandchildren, those generations, you're going through tremendous transformation too. We're changing from the inside out. We're changing our DNA. We're having the codons that were repressed and shut off way back in the early part of our creation, and we weren't created by God as we think of prime creator. We were created by other beings who were themselves ultimately maybe created by other beings too, but ultimately it went back to prime source or prime creator who went on this journey of what is possible. What can I create? What can I discover about myself? And everything is part of God. Even the dark is part of God. So even the 300,000 years, which is what Barbara Marciniak keeps saying, even that of being stuck on the same old station, playing over and over and over again. Talk about brainwashing. I mean, talk about embedding the sickness of limitation and the sickness of forgetfulness and embedding it in our DNA, even in our consciousness, and turning off the DNA codons so that we're functioning with only 2 strands of DNA instead of 12 strands like we're supposed to. Well, I'm going to be asking the universe again and thanking the universe for help turning on some of these missing pieces of me. And I'm encouraging you to do the same thing. I can't do that for you. You've got to ask for yourself. You've got to seek that for yourself. And you've got to be in a place where you listen to your own heart, trust your own gut, know your own emotions, know how you feel. Get to the bottom of your feelings and feel your feelings. Because we're going to change the world. I believe we're on course to do that. And it's not an easy task, as I said in the blurb. And sometimes it sucks when you see so little result for what seems like such major effort. And sometimes it seems like I'm all alone. And I know sometimes you feel like you're all alone. That's how it feels. That's how it seems. That no one understands. No one gets it. And Barbara says that sex is so important in the transformation, and there was a lot in the videos about how important it is to understand our sexuality and to stop putting it down and to be careful who we connect with, because we're taking on their energy when we connect with them. Make sure they're a person who is in that moment, in that time, loving us and committed to growth and committed to the highest and the best. Make sure that's the intention. Use intention in our sexuality. And learn to love ourselves, because if we don't love our own bodies, how can we expect someone else to love our bodies? And our bodies are treasure chests of so many good things and so much wealth and so much riches. We're not the poor, pitiful slaves, which is the role we've played for so long because of our amnesia, because of forgetting who we are, because of the spiritual journey we embarked upon, however many lifetimes ago. And I don't know about this part about I'm living in a whole bunch of different dimensions at the same time. I don't really get that. The only one that really matters is the one that I'm conscious of now. And I want to connect my now with all the parts of me, even the parts that may be there that I don't know, that I've forgotten, that I'm not aware of. And I'm asking the universe in 2014 to help activate all of the parts of me that have been not fully developed yet, not fully switched on. And I know there's lots of them. I haven't arrived, and neither have you. I don't care if you say you live in 5D. A lot of spirituality, including New Age spirituality and Old Age spirituality, a lot of it is hypocrisy. A lot of it's pretend and make-believe. And I am not and will never be an advocate of pretending and faking it till you make it. I don't believe you can reach a place of truth by telling lies to yourself. How you feel is how you feel. What you think is what you think. It may not be correct, what you think, but it's what you think. It's where you are right now, and you can't get there from there. You can only get there from here, and being genuine and being honest. And that's been my message for almost 3 years now. To be an authentic human being. Telling yourself, first of all, telling yourself the truth. Telling yourself, this is what I'm going through. This is what I feel. Getting in touch with you. because we can't change the world if we only live on the surface. We can't change the world if we don't know who we are. We have to remember who we are. We have to awaken to the reality that we are infinite beings, that we all came from the stars, that we were formed from the DNA of other cultures on other star systems. And we embarked on this journey, as I said, as renegade iconoclasts, to fix a planet, to repair and reform and transform a planet that was taken over by sick, insane beings. Archons, some call them demons, devils, the Lucifer rebellion. But even Lucifer and even those demons and fallen angels, if they're going to be redeemed, they need to help us fix what they broke and what was broken. And we've all probably played roles of that type. So we need to forgive ourselves, and we need to forgive each other. We need to think in a new way and be real. Be real. I can't stress that enough. The importance of being authentic, the importance of telling yourself the truth. Really, the truth. Whatever it is, don't hide it from yourself. Don't pretend you're something that you're not. And I know we're all a lot more than we realize we are. But you don't get there by pretending you're somewhere else. Get there by being here now and being truthful now. Now. 2014 is not here yet, but when this thing airs, it will be here in my time zone. When I finally share it on Facebook, it will go up at midnight on New Year's Eve, the first moment of the new year, at the new day, the very first moment. It will go up on YouTube and then be shared on Facebook sometime thereafter whenever I get to it. It'll probably be fairly early because I probably won't stay up much past midnight. I might stay up till midnight. I'm going to a drum circle. But in any case, I know it's hard. It's hard for me, it's hard for all of us. But we can do it. Let's love each other and let's give each other a lot of grace, because we sure as hell need it for what's in front of us, however that's going to manifest. Let's not keep recycling the same old shit. Let's make this truly a new year. Thank you for listening. Namaste.